I think there is a language barrier. I had to still communicate it properly that, dude, I don't have money. Are you still willing to take me? Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Kinjal. I make travel and fashion videos and daily vlogs on this channel. And today we are going to start a new series where I tell you all my travel experiences through stories. If you're new here, thank you for joining. And if you're not, I'm always grateful for you guys. Thank you for always watching my videos. Let's get into it. Okay, so I have this thing about really testing myself when it comes to मैं देख लूंगी, मैं कर लूंगी, I'll figure it out. And sometimes life really tests me and I'm like, okay, prove it. Okay, the story is about me when I was going to Bali the second time, and I was on airport. So basically, my flight was, I think, on time, but the immigration line was so long because I think there were 2, 3 flights which landed back to back, and crazy. The line of immigration in Bali airport is always huge, but it took me 2.5, almost 2 hours to kind of get through the immigration. And once I got through the immigration, now it was time to collect my baggage. Okay. And we went to the baggage area and the belt haven't started yet. So we are standing and waiting for it. Took 30 minutes for them to start the belt. And when I was waiting, everyone was coming, picking the bags, going, coming, picking the bags. It was 1 hour into this process and I could not see my bag. And I was like, okay, no, it's okay. It has happened before. Like, bag thoda late aaya has happened before. So I'm like, okay, aa jayega. And I'm like, but this late? Like, almost the belt was getting emptier every time it was rotating and I could not see my bag. And I'm like, why me? Like, what happened? And at that time, I've also seen a lot of Vietjet reviews. I was flying through Vietjet, and let's just be honest, it was the cheapest option available, and I was not willing to spend more on my budget trip. So I was going through Vietjet, and I've heard people complaining about how they lose their bags, and like, if it's sometimes it's broken and sometimes it's stolen and sometimes I don't know what, and people have said so many things about Vietjet, and I'm like, I was always being positive. No, I've flown before. I think it won't happen with me. I think I'm not the one. But then today I thought, I was like, what if they actually lost my bag? What am I gonna do? And I was so scared. Honestly, I was so scared. It was only me and this one other person who were waiting at the belt, and it got so intense, and I'm like, shit, do I look like a fool? Like, am I even standing at the right belt? But yeah. And on the top of it, I was also running out of the battery. And one thing about me is that I don't carry power banks because I feel like it adds too much weight to my devices wala bag. And I'm like, I already carry laptop, iPad and phones and like other stuff, camera and all. I did not want to carry another weight of power bank. And I'm like, you know what, everywhere there are plugs and all, I'll just be more careful about my battery usage. And I am not that much of a phone user unless I use it for the camera. So not a power bank person, I'm sorry. So I did not have power bank, so I did not charge my phone. But I did have my charger, of course, and I was like waiting for my bag. And I booked my taxi from my airport to Villa through my phone, and my phone was dying. And that guy who I was going to go with was texting me. He's like, "Hey, I'm standing outside this," and I'm like, yeah, I'm just coming, and my bag wasn't just arriving, and I don't know what was I going to do. And then it was more than 2 hours, 3 hours to the whole process. And then guy texted me, he's like, you know what, I'm canceling. Our policy is that we can only wait for 2 hours max if the flight is late and whatever the case is. So he cannot wait any longer, and so he cancelled on me. Okay, I was like, oh my god, how do I book now? Because I had my battery was running out. Okay, so I had to find a corner, and I did not have a plug that Bali has. Like, there's this round kind of plug that usually works there, which I had it in my previous trip, but I lost it. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'm gonna go there and buy it, another one. So it's fine. It's not a big deal. So now I was running out of charge. I didn't have a taxi to go back, and my bag was still not arriving. So I found a way to charge it. Somebody left something, somebody had this charger point at the bottom part in the airport somewhere, and there was this one guy who I borrowed it from, and I'm like, can I use this thing, please? I'm running out of battery. And then I was sitting, and it was loose, so it kept moving, and my battery charges 2%, and then it doesn't. It charges 2%, and then it doesn't. So I'm like, oh my god, what is the day? And I was so hungry, I was so tired, I just wanted to go back home and sleep, because it was more than 10 hours that I was roaming around like this. Like, from Ahmedabad to Bali, it takes, I think, 8 hours or more. No, sorry, 12 hours, because 4 hour ka first flight to Vietnam, and then it depends on what flight you're flying from. So there is a layover of sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 4 hour, and then another 4 hour flight from Vietnam to Bali, and then another 3 hour at the airport. I was done for the day, and I was like, I wanted to go home, and I don't know what to do. So I managed, and then I was like instantly booked another taxi through Grab, and because I was in rush, I was not using my brain. You know, when you are in rush, you just stop using your brain somehow. And the default option of payment is always cash udhar. Okay, you have to select if you want to pay card or cash or whatever. I just found a taxi, and I'm like, I have a taxi now to go back home. Let me just instantly book it. I booked it, and it got booked, and it was booked in cash. Okay, now you can't change the payment method once the guy has accepted the ride. And I don't know what to do, because I me didn't have cash. Okay, and I was like, oh shit. And my bag was still not with me. So I was like, shit, this guy accepted, and I don't even have my bag, and then also he's gonna cancel on me. And I'm like, okay, it's good if you cancel on me, because I don't have cash. I'll book another one, because if I cancel, I get charged. Okay, so I can't cancel. And then I texted him through the app, and I'm like, hey, there's this problem. I don't have a cash. So can you just, I mean, it's okay if you cancel on me. And he's like, no, it's okay. And I was like, but, but can you accept the payment through phone or something, like other payment modes? And he's like, oh no, you come, it's okay, I'm waiting. I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for my bag, can you just wait? And he's like, yeah, I'm waiting in this area. And then I'm like, okay, fine. I finally I received my bag after like 1.5 hours, and I took it and I went looking for him at the area. And one good thing about the whole scenario was that I had a eSIM installed, okay? And but I only had to activate it once I reached there. And also you can activate it like before you reach it, so that when you land your internet starts working. But me, I was so unprepared for this whole scenario that I was like, yeah, it's okay, I'm just gonna reach there and do it. It's not a problem, and all that stuff. And so I was using Wi-Fi of the airport, which kept disconnecting all the time. And I'm like, okay, fine, now let me just sit down and first activate my eSIM. I use Bali eSIM all the time when I travel to Bali. It's so good. I've always used that, and it's easy to install and stuff like that. And there are different plans of how many ever days you're going for. I'm going to leave the link down below, so you guys can also use it. You can also use the code Kinjal10 to get 10% off on your entire order. So yeah, that was it. And then I found this guy on this area, waiting area, and then I had to still communicate it properly that, dude, I don't have money. Are you still willing to take me? And then I was like, so brother, I don't have money. And he's like, yeah, welcome to Bali, come, it's okay, sister. I'm like, no, I don't think you get it. I think there's a language barrier. You are going to take me without money, I don't have money. And he's like, yeah, it's okay. And then I'm like, okay, fine, so you understand English? He's like, yeah. I'm like, can you accept through phone? He's like, no, I can't, because now since the app has already payment mode accepted as a cash, I can't accept through card, or I mean through phone. So I was like, okay, I did not want to miss another taxi, because I cannot wait any longer. Okay, I had to go home. I was like, I'll find some way out and do something, and then go to the villa and figure something out. I don't know what was I gonna do. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know, because I was staying in a villa which was a little far from the whole city thing. So I do know for sure that मैं ATM जाके पैसे नहीं निकाल पाती, and neither I could have exchanged it at some point or something like that. I had to figure something out when I reached the villa. So I reached villa, and I was like trying to make conversation with him in the way so that he becomes little friendly. The whole Indian thing, because if we start talking to them, and me, I'm being Gujarati, so dude, I know how it works. And I was just trying to be the whole friendly person entire the way, because it was like 40 minutes or 1 hour to my villa. And I was trying to talk to him, and I'm like, where are you from? And then he's like, yeah, okay. And then everything was fine, okay. And then I was like, okay, wait, now can you just wait? I'll figure something out when I reached there. I'm like, okay, now can you wait and I'll figure something out. And I was praying in my head, and I'm like, I hope I find something. And then while he was just parking and like turning back and whatever, I instantly went inside the villa. The host came to take my stuff and all, and then it was just some guy who was like a staff there, so it looked like he was not the owner. So I was like, hey, so there's this problem, I don't have cash and I have to pay him this much rupiah, and can you by any chance lend me some money? I live here and I'm here for a few days, so I'm definitely gonna give you back your money once I go to the city and take out some cash. And he's like, how much? And see, I'm not gonna lie, it's like it was a little more money because it was a taxi money, and maybe the locals maybe don't have that much of cash in hand, and especially if you're a staff somewhere, I'm assuming you won't. So he didn't have that much of money. And I'm like, my God, what should I do? And then I was so worried, and I'm like, Kinjal, you, this whole dekh lungi is nahi dekha ja raha. What are you doing? And then I'm like, you know what? Can you just go ask some other people in the villa? I know it's gonna be, I mean, it's not good to disturb people, but hey, Bali was a friendly place, so you never know. I'm like, okay, can you go ask some other guests in the villa if somebody has some cash and all, and they can lend me? And he was a little dicey about the whole situation, because I think he was not that social, so he didn't know how to ask for help from other people for me. So he's like, okay, wait, I can go and try. So he went upstairs and he went and then he did not come for the next 5 minutes, and I was like, oh shit, wow, wow. Hi, okay, yeah, thank you, wait for a few minutes, I was telling to this driver. And then I was like, you know what, I have to take the situation in my hands. So I went upstairs where he was there, and I was like, you know what, I'll find my way. So I saw him knocking at some door, and I was like, okay, wait, I'll just take it from here. So he knocked at some door, and there's this guy who opened up, and I'm like, hey, hi. And I knew my room was right next to his room. So I'm like, hey, I'm staying here next to your room, and I'm here for a few days, and I don't have cash right now, and I need to pay this guy for the taxi. Can you just lend me some money, and I'll give it to you back in the evening? And he's like, if you don't mind. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, 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 sure, of course, of course, of course. And I showed him how much money I wanted, and then he gave me some cash. He gave me more cash instead, and he's like, yeah, you can keep, and then like, and then you can give me later. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give you. I'm thank you so much that you handled the whole situation. And he's like, yeah, 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 it's okay, no problem. So I took the whole money, and went to the taxi, gave him, and then I was so relieved. I just took my bag, left everything, straight freshen up and slept. I was so hungry. I was like, no, you know what, I'll just eat some snack that I've got in my suitcase. I didn't have energy to go out as well. It was so late, and I just wanted to lie down. I took shower, I took a nap, and then I was finally by myself. And I'm like, wow, Kinjal, what if I wouldn't have found cash? I mean, the whole journey without telling somebody, yeah, I have it in my bag in the villa, and I'm gonna give it to you once we reach villa. Is it okay? I didn't have nothing. I just had to make up something, and I'm like, you know what, I'll figure something out, just give me some time. And that guy was so sweet that he was waiting for me since like 15 minutes till I figured my stuff out, and then he left. He was also good throughout the way. So one thing about Bali is what takes me back all the time is how good the people are in the island, and like they are all so welcoming. Look, I didn't have cash from the minute I entered, okay, but that guy was still willing to help and still willing to wait. What if I didn't find out? Like what was he going to do if I couldn't? But he had no such like worry in his head about what if I'm not going to get money and all. So that's one greatest part. People are sweetest, kindest, calmest, very lovely people. And also the tourists who are living there are very helpful and very friendly, because I feel the whole vibe of the island is like that. You're just in Bali and you're just happy. You're just happy. You don't have comparison of why you are happy and like reasons. The vibrations are so good around the place that it just makes your day very lively and happy and all. So yeah, that was my story about how I figured this out without cash. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep posting more such stories on my channel as and when I experience something. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I have my vlog from the first time I went to Bali. It's this one. And I also have my vlog the second time I went to Bali, which is this one. So if you have not watched my other vlogs, you can all like just watch it on my channel. And thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. Let me know if you have some sort of such experience and then things just worked out, or if it didn't work out, tell me in the comment section below. I'm excited to know people's travel story. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.